edition of Wiff Talk here at legendary Pub Park. Tim Finnegan alongside Alan Williams and Josh Geraldo for another week's recap of all the action happening with the O'Daly's Irish Pub GetWiffIt Wiffleball League. And guys, week 2 did not disappoint. We had a game of the week matchup, plenty of fireworks. The home run leader was coming into that game, but as soon as the night ended, there was another guy that decided that he wanted to be #1 in the standings too. We had some pitching duels happening. We had our first tie of the season. We had a season high in runs scored. I mean, there was so many plays that happened during this week's action. What stood out to y'all the most?
My favorite play was Joe Hernandez catching this ball right over here. Ran around it, not backing up to it. Didn't back up to it. Ran around it and caught it on the. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oppo Joe making plays defensively.
Oppo
Joe. The legend of Oppo Joe.
Look, it's amazing how 35 minutes of work, and now you have a name that's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. Yeah. From being out here, I mean, the guy comes out here. You know, he's always been, real competitive out here and done well. And he comes out here in the game of the week and just hits 3 backside laser beams. Of Oppo Joe's more.
Oppo.
Second inning of the game. It was 8-5 was the final score. Second inning of the game, the guy hits 2 home runs, generates 6 RBIs by himself. Both scenarios had runners on first and second. And the second one, I'm thinking to myself, all right, Cromer's definitely going to walk him right here, right? I mean, like, you're not going to test him. It's the same inning. You've already been through the lineup again. And sure enough, heater right over into the outfield. And it's like, gal. And then he follows it up with the next inning, gets out there on defense and makes the miraculous play. I mean, easily top 3 plays.
I'm still not sure how he processed it, because the ball got on top of him so fast, and he had the wherewithal to stop backpedaling and circle the corner of that outfield fence to make the play.
And still having to leap in to catch it.
Exactly that fast. That was awesome.
Well, coming up later on the show, we're going to get to talk to a couple of members of both teams. The Sandlot Sluggers and the Backdoor Sliders are going to be joining us here on Wiff Talk. Let's get with it. Welcome back to Wiff Talk here at legendary Pub Park. Tim Finnegan, Alan Williams, Josh Geraldo, now joined by 2 members of previous week's Game of the Week, Matt Allsup and Jordan Watson. How y'all doing today? Good. Now, coming off of that big matchup, there was a lot of hype built around it. 8-5, a lot on the line, bragging rights. Got to get momentum going into the rest of the season. What was going through your mind? We'll start off with you, Matt. You were pitching in the game, a lot of pressure on you. You were facing down one of the hottest hitting teams in the league coming off of week 1. What helped you prepare for this matchup?
All week, all I saw was Charlie Spencer this, Charlie Spencer that.
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
And wasn't worried about this kid because he's never hit me good. So, but he did hit me great the other night.
That's good.
But my thing is, when I get up there, and I'm not talking down to anyone, but whoever I'm playing is who I am. Like, I've played at that level.
Right.
First week, Wiffle House All-Stars, y'all got lucky. That was my off day.
Just took the loss right there.
Oh, God. So now, me coming into this game, I knew I had to step it up. And week 1, I'm playing from 2 feet back, which I've never done before.
Yeah.
So,
told you it was going to be a big deal. It really was.
It was. So I knocked that rust off, came with them, and after that first inning, us, Cobb, even Kramer, whoever, big pitchers, once you feel it, you get in that groove and you get that swag.
Muscle memory there.
And you feel like you can't be touched. And I kind of felt that. I did get touched. And I was stopping Charlie. Charlie hit a 3-run shot that floated, and my boy Oppo Joe robbed it.
Yeah, man. We were talking about that earlier. That was a crazy.
That saved it. That saved it.
He, Charlie spent his first at bat. Especially after all the hype coming off of last week.
Yeah.
You hit 4 dingers. Obviously, everyone's going to be watching.
Oh yeah.
And and he comes out in that first at bat, and you can just hear the chatter. Like,
oh yeah.
So is he gonna just smash Alsop right now?
The nerves
and
start
the first,
going.
that first at bat, he hits a seam over this way. Next at bat, he hits the ball that goes Robs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a 3-run home run too, which is lost by 3.
Lost by 3.
Yeah, that was big.
So, that was huge.
Well, Jordan, talk about from your perspective coming into this matchup, just trying to maintain momentum going into this game.
Yeah, momentum's a huge thing going into playing a big game against these guys. Also, he was up there throwing cookies, but every time we got somebody on base, we couldn't execute the opportunities we had. We had so many people on base, had a bunch of chances to actually tie the game up. Even in the last inning, we had bases loaded. We had a home run, we're up by 1. And that changes the game, but we just couldn't get it done with runners on base. Man, that hurt a lot.
You played in a championship series before. Now we're down to just one night a week. How much more competitive is this season's schedule? Not just that, but how much more does every game matter this season?
It matters a lot. Being in the same league as Cop back there, you never want to play off in the woods because I mean you do.
You already know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you're coming into it. Cop pretty much brings the best out of everybody
because you know you're going to get the best out of him.
I love playing that team.
I do too.
It's fun because I know that I got to step up and actually get out there and play and pay attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah, he brings the best out of it. He makes everything so competitive, and that's just how he's always been. So anytime you're in the same league as Cop, you know how
the competition is.
Oh yeah.
It's funny, like bringing it down to the one night. We talked about it last week. We knew the competitive level, and I was curious. Like last week, the hype around the league was jacked. I mean, y'all played the outsiders last week. These guys, those guys had never played wiffle ball, and actually showed up a little bit. They showed it. Fody.
They scored 7 runs, 8 runs. That's not bad for you.
That's exactly. And then in week 2, you got to come out here and you play these guys. Also figure it out. And I'll tell I was curious as to we were on such a high after week 1, and there was such a big hype level around that. What would week 2 really present? And I mean, oh my God, we got to. That's it. You got to the championship or the game of the week. And you look around, it's like Friday nights, like it was last week. This is crazy.
Even for the late game, the late game had a lot of people. Usually about a late game, I mean, being during the week, most people kind of fade out. But no, man, people stayed. They wanted to see wiffle ball.
I talked to Cop earlier. This is my 5th and a half season, 6th season, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And never had an announcer, anything, music, that big of a crowd ever. And that just...
It's hype.
It's awesome.
I mean, you're always going to get up. If you have any sort of competitive ball in your body, whether you're playing wiffle ball, softball, competitive baseball, doesn't matter if you're playing badminton. I'd tackle my grandmother if she was trying to score a touchdown in front of me. Right. And that's just competition.
Hey, you're playing.
I love you, Grandma, but you're going down, But when you get out here and all of a sudden you've got that background music, you can hear people talking because they're on top of you. I mean, it just raises the bar. That was awesome. And to kind of go into y'all's game a little bit, like you said, like Jordan said, there were opportunities all over the field. They left a lot of runners on base, but there was some huge defensive plays made in that game. Yeah, I mean, Jordan made probably the quickest and slickest little backhand to second fielding a ground ball that I've ever seen. Catches it, fields it on a short hop, moving toward the plate, and just without looking, just knows where the base is at, quick flip behind, and ends the inning.
Yeah.
I actually overran it. I thought it was coming way harder than what it did, and it hit the ground and just kind of died.
Yeah.
And I had to catch it on the right side of my body, so my back was pretty much just turned to second base already. So I knew I didn't have time to turn around.
And if you don't, and if that ball's offline, I mean, that's over here in the gap, and there's 2 runners around.
We had at least 3, I know for sure, because I'm on deck. 3 pop-ups where he comes flying and grabbing. I'm standing there wanting to stay there.
Oh, you're talking about in foul territory? Yeah.
At least 3 of them.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
I mean, you made a big play on a ball that barely got past the bunt line, You know that, I mean, and you fielded that clean and just basically kind of a under the arm flip. It just happened to be on line. You know,
it's not easy to throw.
No, it's not.
No.
Oh, throw a
Straight,
wiffle ball
straight
straight.
to
You
you.
can't kick a wiffle ball straight. You just throw it. You know, so yeah. I mean, what a great game. I mean, the game of the week this week. I hope that we fall in line every week because we're 2 for 2. I mean, it has been nuts out here. It's been awesome.
Matt, earlier you talked about the factor of moving back the pitcher's mound a little bit. How much did that come into play this season?
When it was all talked about, and then I came out here last week, the first week, and I saw it, it looked the same.
Yeah.
Because the first year, I didn't even throw from the stripe. I took a step back from that little metal piece in the ground. So I threw back there. So what?
You're probably a good foot back.
Right. Yeah. But then I get up there and I'm throwing cookies and getting raked.
You're getting Matt Thomas all over the yard, man. Is he still
Yeah.
I think you got out of here.
Okay. But as a hitter, the mound being back a couple feet, how do you feel that is now? I mean, it feels like we got that split second, just a little bit of time.
I think it gives the pitchers more of an advantage this year because you get more movement on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. A ball that last season you knew was going to hit the 10. Now you're a little trepidatious as to swing because you're like, maybe it's just going to miss, and then you don't know.
I don't know what trepidatious means, so
good word.
Great word. I'm throwing it out. Yeah, I'm with you, baby.
4-syllable.
I'm with you on that one, man. That's awesome, dude. We're stepping our game up here.
Hey, it's a Friday, man. Tone it down.
I've had a couple.
I'm with
I
this,
dropped
man.
the trepidatious. Denham Springs is doing you proud.
I don't know if I said it
That's
right.
what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man.
I don't think I've ever heard of that word, actually.
I'm telling you.
I think it's like my second or third 4-syllable word. That's pretty good.
Perfect.
Super California.
Yeah. Oh,
Next
let's talk about the 10 check marks
Oh yeah.
in the Facebook post.
Oh man.
How did that feel?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the most ultimate,
Well, hang on.
immediate troll I have
Minutes.
ever
Hell,
Hang on,
seen.
let me
It
just
was so
let me
good.
build this up a little bit, all right? So I'm not even back to the house yet, and I get a message from this guy over here. Hey man, can you send me a picture real quick? And as I'm doing it, I get an alert that Matt also has just commented on a previous post. Well, let me click. Oh, damn.
Oh man.
And all you see is just a bunch of check marks going across. I'm like, all right.
So for those of you that did not see the post, Charlie Spencer was our leader in the clubhouse last week in home runs. So as a hype picture, it was a picture of old Chuck sitting there with that lavish beard and his bandana.
Yep.
Just looking all high and mighty right there on his horse with top 10 things to do to the keys
This week's goals.
Keys
This
to
week's
victory,
goals.
you know? And it was literally 1 through 10 was listed stop Charlie Spencer. And so what does the troll under the bridge do? He goes and edits and puts little check marks under all 10 of them and sends it out. Oh man, it was beautiful.
Did you count them a second time to make sure you did 10?
Well, I didn't stay the whole night. I left after he took our pictures and I played a little rap, got a little crunk on my way home by myself. I was like, I got a troll. So
that's awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit of a rematch towards playoff time, though.
Yeah.
We might have to bring that up.
We'll see
Might have to bring that up.
Are you kidding me?
that.
That's gonna play.
Yeah.
It's gonna
yeah.
come back,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
That'd be
I hope so.
worthy of a throwback.
Gonna be a
throwback.
different
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Take a look at the standings right now. Top 4 teams right off the bat. Wiffle House All-Stars, only undefeated team at 2-0. Then you got Off in the Woods at a bye week this past week. We're going to be back in action. We're going to talk to a couple of those guys coming up in the show. Outfield Alcoholics in the game of the week this week, taking on a little team over here, Big League Group.
Big League
And then Kakamba's one of the hottest scoring teams through the first 2 weeks. But once again, hey, we're just kind of getting started. We don't know how good everyone really is yet. Making adjustments with the pitchers line. Got a couple of new faces on every team. So, let's see what happens. Week 3 might be the most telling coming up.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Coming up on this show, we're going to preview Week 3 with a couple of members of Off in the Woods as they make the return off the bye week. We'll be right back after this.
School will start.
Come on!
So White also trying to make something happen at first.
Welcome back to the show. We're recapping and previewing the upcoming matchups that are happening here at legendary Pub Park with the GetWiffIt Wiffleball League. Tim Finnegan, Alan Williams, Josh Giraldo, now joined by a couple of extra special guests. We got Steven Sneed, we got DT, and Mike Coppersmith. How we doing, guys?
Doing great.
Now, y'all were featured in the opening night game of the week. We heard from the previous game of the week competitors. I mean, we talked about all the fireworks, the pressure, the energy behind it. It felt like a championship series. I want to hear from y'all. What was your experience like?
I mean, I'll start off. I guess I'll.
Champions start off.
Respect is a
Can't even give me no
I'll
love.
start it off by saying that we were, first week is the toughest. First week is definitely the toughest because you spend the most time thinking about it, ready for the next league, and then you got to face somebody like Sneed, Zach, man. They're tough to hit. They switch it up, backing up the mail. Nobody knew what it was like. I hadn't been out here. I didn't know how it was going to be. So Sneed was definitely a challenge week one, and I thought that he was tough to hit week one for sure. I mean, I had my trouble with him. I mean, Cobb, you might. I mean, you.
Sneed's always tough to hit. You did it, back him up 2 more feet. He's still gonna be tough to hit.
So we just talked to Austin a minute ago. They and talking about the 2 foot, backing up of the mound. Both of you guys are pitchers. Want to get y'all's take. So what did y'all take away from the first 2 weeks? I know y'all had a bye week this week. What did y'all take away from moving the mound back?
I mean, coming out here and working on the field and then throwing a couple practice runs. I mean, I thought it was going to be tougher. I thought a lot of walks were going to happen. But then, it was anxious to get to the first week and, jump into the first week. And the thing about the first week is, like David said, it's just one of those things. It's just nerves are there, the stress is there. You just don't know what's going to happen. But, then you come out and you got to face a team like Off in the Woods, who's won this league 6 out of the 7 years.
Who scheduled that?
Exactly. So,
Wasn't me.
My God.
Yeah. I think he did it as a PR thing. Knowing Tim, he did it. He was like, no, we're going to make a good matchup.
It was a good matchup. We needed opening night magic.
It was a good one.
You get it out of the way. I mean, to be honest, I would rather play Sneed at the beginning than play him later on in the year. You got to worry about trying to get into the playoffs and trying to get the seeding you want. Go ahead and get out of the way. Whether we take a loss, we know we got to win every game after that, or just about win every game after that. Dude, Sneed's one of the best pitchers in this league for a reason. He throws well, and he's got a lot of great pitches.
Yeah, he's going to get better throughout the season,
Exactly.
so you definitely don't want to face him
early,
week 8, 9, 10.
And last
you don't want to do
year,
it.
and the reason we backed it up, a lot of the reasons we backed it up is because, everybody had their happy moment when they one decided to rear back and throw. One, Sneed had those too.
No, wait. Are we saying that Sneed got excited and ran one up there about Mach 3? No. But honestly, I think that he's the only one.
That doesn't.
All jokes aside, we've been doing this. We're in our 4th year. This is our 4th full year. Okay, so I think that Cobb literally is the only one that has never just run one up there because.
I agree.
Right-handed or left-handed.
But all I do gotta say is that pitch he threw to me when he struck me out looking. He straight up just made me take my head, stick it between my tails, walk over the side. Not only bases were loaded twice.
That's right.
But not only that, it's tough though because this me not being here in the work days and everything, so I didn't get to see you throw from 2 feet further. I thought you were just going to try and speed up a little bit and come out a little harder. And so I was trying to get anything further. My first at bat, I was shocked when he came out there and I was seeing a pitch that moved 2 feet and right up on me. I mean,
that strike you out.
Yeah, at the end. My last at bat, he struck me out.
That's just small victories.
How many RBIs?
I got it.
You hadn't lied. Not off me.
Shout out
Zach, don't you dare let him get away with that shit.
Y'all have been way too nice to each other.
But to keep it going, I mean, Sneed was tough to hit all night. I mean, and Zach Mann wasn't the easiest to hit. Zach Mann missed a couple pitches by an inch.
Yeah.
If it was an inch closer, there was one at bat he definitely was trying, but it missed by an inch. And then he had to come back in, and he came back in, he threw it right up into the plate, and it's going to get hit.
And that's the thing. I think the best thing about our team is the fact that we have two pitchers that can throw right-handed and left-handed. I mean, we're not Mike Coppersmith who can throw righty or lefty and change it up.
Between pitches.
And
between pitches.
Very unique hand slots.
Yeah, very unique.
When you're throwing. I mean, you're catching a left-hander from here and then a right-hander from about right there.
Yeah. Or what was it, the random move where he looks like he's about to throw right and then does a little spin move and throws it left.
Does
like,
that,
what?
That figure skating triple axel. It's coming from 8 feet the other way.
I mean, and it's definitely nice to play behind Copp as well. I mean, we're talking about pitching-wise. It's nice to play on the defensive side behind Copp because he also makes plays.
No,
and it makes it a lot easier on everybody else on defense because you're not having to run all over the field because if you sit up the middle, he's pretty much
going to at least knock it down.
Knock it down and at least try and make a play off of it. And, and it gives us a benefit that a lot of other teams might not have.
I think a pitcher like Copp keeps you on your toes as a defender too because you know that Copp's going to throw strikes and he's going to get close to the plate and the batters are going to hit, so you know you need to be ready right then. It's coming. You know, I like playing behind pitchers like that. Like I said, it keeps me in the game, and I'm not out there goofing off unless it's a late game and I've had too many drinks, and I'm just kind of out there wandering around.
My favorite thing in the world playing third base is to clean the entire area of rocks and just throw them at my team.
Yeah, I mean,
it's my favorite thing.
I do it all the time.
I threw 300 at Drew.
David Kramer's probably had a lot.
I'm glad Drew's back out here, man.
I just kept throwing at Drew.
I mean, and a lot of the things that I know that we try and do, and these two guys definitely have it, is a strikeout pitch. Both these guys have a pitch that they can go to that's their great pitch. And I know as far as us, as our approach is, you don't strike out, you put the ball in play and you give yourself a chance. And I know you struck me out, so I know you got to strike out.
Well,
so there's a lot of people out here that have to strike out.
That's what that qualifies.
I mean, Weaver had
twice.
Twice. That's all we're counting. We quit counting after 2, so I mean, it might have been more.
He saw it from both of y'all, I think, though.
Oh, how many weeks in a row we can get
but hold on a second. Are we going to go in on Weaver on his bye week?
2 weeks in a row?
I mean, he didn't show
I'm okay with it.
It's okay.
Everybody gets a
I'm
turn.
good with it.
I'm always going to go in.
Dream Weaver was dreaming he could get back there and redeem himself.
He was here though. He was here talking trash and behind the fence.
Hey, wasn't bad. Hey, the leg. Got to give a shout out to the leg.
Oh, looking calves.
Calves, man.
I ain't never seen short shorts.
And then working them out.
Zach's worn short.
Zach got some short
A
shorts.
lot shorter.
We're talking about Zach and Weaver here. You know what I mean? They set the bar for everybody else.
Hey, Zach. Apparently, Zach's. I just like Zach pitching. He's a good guy. This last game we played last week, we had a couple calls that didn't go our way that were questionable, but that's neither here nor there. But Zach kind of had a hot head, and we were tied 1-1 going into the bottom. And I saw Zach have a hot head, and I was like, I can't let him go out there with a hot head because he's probably gonna give up something. He's going to get pissed even more, so I kind of took it back, let him go cool down a little bit.
But going off that, I mean, it goes to show how good of pitchers you and Zach both are. You had a team that scored 22 runs in the first week, and then you go out there and you only give up 1 in 4 innings, 4 or 5 innings of wiffleball. That's impressive. I don't care who you are. To only give up 1 run in 4 or 5 innings,
and honestly,
they only gave up 1 run too.
I mean,
they did.
That's impressive.
Michael's a good pitcher. He really is. He kept us on our heels the entire time. But like you said, for them to score 22 runs in that first game, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You come back, and I'll tell you, Snead and Zach combined gave up 1 run, maybe 4 hits. I mean, they didn't get a lot of hits either. So it was it's not often you get a 1-1 wiffle ball game. That was a nail biter. There was a lot of good plays in that game, and it was close. And unfortunately, ended in a freaking tie.
I mean, the Cummins are a good team. They've been a good team for years, and they're only getting better. I mean, we struggled with them last year.
They beat a bunch of people every year. They're always right there in the playoffs. They're good. They're very good.
Hey, let's talk about some of the action that did happen this past Tuesday, week 2 action. Starting things off, Team Outsiders with a victory over terminal illness. What did we learn about the Outsiders this week?
They're getting better.
They are.
They're getting better. They're figuring the game out of wiffle because
they looked comfortable.
Yes,
they really did. Like that first week, never playing wiffle ball.
Right.
And you come out here, they looked like they knew what they were doing.
How
Now-
many runs did they put up this week?
10-2 was the final
10.
score. 10-2.
Danny out here running barefoot. Gets picked off at third.
third
Just
base.
kills an inning, Danny. What the heck? But,
Can't do
but
that,
yeah,
Danny.
You know, but look, like they looked very comfortable. Jake hit another bomb, just a monster shot.
Yeah.
Off of a Dodger.
Oh yeah. That's right. He was wearing a Dodgers hat.
I wasn't even paying attention.
He was
to
wearing
that.
a Dodgers
That makes
hat.
him
That's funny.
And Jake may have, when he hit it, he may have slow walked him back to the. He may have. So
that's
I think
awesome.
the funniest thing was watching Luke at third and
The throw over to start the game.
My God,
Oh.
man. First at bat, he gets a candy hop ground ball and literally takes a major league outfield crow hop, throws it to first and does a barrel roll because all of his momentum was going toward. It was hilarious, and he did it twice.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But those guys have figured out. Fody has figured it out. He's found his speed, and he's throwing some nasty pitches.
You watch it from behind the gate like we did this week. I mean, we did it week 1 and week 2, and his pitches move.
Oh, they move a lot.
And from back there, you can't tell when it moves.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, we're getting an eye, we're trying to catch it. So when we play him, we have an idea, but with that movement, you don't know when the movement's taking place.
One of the things
have an idea.
one of the things we talked about. I was talking to one of the guys from Terminal Illis in the field. Was, if you notice, Fody had a lot of strikeouts in that game, and most of the strikeouts were swings and misses, but most of them didn't hit the strike zone. They were just off, just high. You know, like he hit the zone enough that they were chasing pitches all over the place because they were that close.
I think that's one of the things in this league that you have to do. Like, there's some pitches that I mean, Cop and I kind of feed off each other, go back and forth, tell each other against what we're throwing and all that kind of stuff, just because we're competitive.
Yeah,
and it's fun. But if you can throw and hit the 10 and get them down 0-2, you have basically 4 pitches to try and throw something outside of it, and you're done.
Yeah,
and it's done.
There's something about, you know, it's different. You know, all the baseball I played, hearing the ball hit a mitt, but hearing that ball hit the 10 piss you off.
Nothing makes you feel worse.
It doesn't matter. Dude, it doesn't matter.
An umpire ringing you up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bang,
There's no questions. There's no argument. It's crap.
You can't say, I think that was outside, Blue.
Look, there's nothing better for a pitcher. We were tied 1-1 with Cucumbas going on the bottom. I loaded the bases because I walked you guys, and they got 1 out. I'm like, I'm about to either walk or run in, or we're about to lose on a walk up. But I struck out the next 2 guys, and there was
that last one. That last one was looking, and when it hit, I mean, we went ballistic for a tie. But it hit the 10, and you just relieved to get
and
out
how
of there.
loud is it when it
Just
barely ticks? You can hear a
I think it sounds
all over this field.
It sounds better.
So
It sounds better when it
demoralizing,
barely
man.
nicks it than it hits it solid. With me throwing Mike 3 and just barely nicking, I'll take the barely nicking because it eats to the soul and goes back.
Hey, when speed throws on about 10 feet over your head and it still hits the strike zone, you strike out off of it. You take. Take it like a
You're
champ.
like, oh,
There ain't
God.
nothing I could have done.
right back.
But that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
he
he threw the one that hit the bottom left corner.
He
so
throws that.
aggravating.
He gets
Good
up
God.
there and does
Doesn't
that
make you
little
run.
backhand flip that goes 37 feet.
The whole time I'm walking out to the field just trying to figure out how I was supposed to hit that. There was no way. I still can't fathom how I was supposed to hit that.
You want to show us how you throw it? Show the rest of the people how you throw it? You give your secrets up?
YouTube instructional video.
Yeah.
We'll save it for another.
All right.
Taking a look at the next matchup, we talked a little bit about it already on the show, but Cucumbas and Team Hose Monster, the first tie of the season. But Cucumbas, interesting stat, they're the only ones through 2 weeks, they have the lowest amount of runs given up so far this season with 4 through 2 weeks. For teams that have played 2 weeks, they got the lowest amount.
They've only given up 4
They've
runs.
only given up 4 runs.
It just goes to show you how good is.
Good look.
How good is
He's
this?
right in.
Yeah.
He's got a 12-6. and
Yeah,
he's
well, and
winning
he
by a
throws
lot.
like a 3/4 fastball that runs, and you know it's right there on the edge of that speed. And last year he had a lot of problems with the speed because he's long, he's lanky.
Big guy.
Dude, his arm is so close to you.
But that's
when
what I'm
he lets go
saying.
of the
When he
ball.
lets go of the ball, you're so pissed off because you can reach out and grab it out of his damn hand. But he's so long. It was almost like at the distance last season, he almost had to cut his arm off.
Yeah.
You know, and not make a full swing. And now he's full arm slot, full follow through.
He's getting
it's
the best
not
of
too
it.
fast.
No, it's not at all.
It's breaking.
He's
He
getting the best
comes
of
from
everything
here.
he throws.
He comes from here with his fastball, and he throws that 12-6, and you're just hoping to catch it.
Yeah, and what a difference that made. I mean, he was the one. I told him to slow it down more than anybody else.
Boy, he got pissed. God, he got pissed.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right. After the game, it was.
slowed down, and it was me because I was throwing harder because he was throwing harder,
Right.
but then we both slowed it down.
But now he's got the natural motion.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. I mean, it's
perfect
got-
speed.
Dude, the biggest thing with them that night is we tied, but we had a lot of runners on base.
So did they.
What they did, they did.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, they popped the ball up a lot. We caught a lot of pop-ups, a lot of fly balls.
I'm glad you caught 'em.
Yeah, we hit a ton. We hit a ton.
It's not easy.
Oh, dude. Well, if you keep them in the yard, they're real easier to catch. Keep them in the yard, big guy.
Finally caught him.
So, but we hit a lot of ground balls with runners on, and they fielded them. I bet they had 5-6 outs flipping it to second on ground balls.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the majority of the time, those hard hit ground balls out here are going to eat you up, and they fielded them all clean.
We had that too, though.
They eliminated a lot of
that
runners.
too.
Yeah, they
Giving
eliminated
him,
a lot of runners. So.
giving him the chance to throw his pitches and not having to hold himself
Yeah.
back, it makes him tougher to hit. And
He's going to be
You
tough
almost
to hit
got
all
to freedom.
Yeah, it gives him a little room.
You
to
really,
work.
you really got to hum the ball to get it up to Mach 3 what we threw it last year. You really do.
You got to give it a lot.
You do. You got to give it a
That's
lot.
really the first thing that we learned when we were out here just goofing around. Was in order to be too fast, you've got to
Actually,
you have got to.
And it goes both ways. You got two teams out there that can play defensively. You can play good defense, and that shows you that you can do a one-to-one ball game in this league. That's what's impressive. That is what's impressive. You can play a football game and it be one-to-one. Because how many times you play background baseball and finish a one-to-one game? I mean, it's really impressive. You have two quality teams that can play each other and play one-to-one, and especially in y'all's case. You go and you play somebody that just scored 22 runs, and then you hold them to 1, and that just shows how good you pick, how good the pitching was.
It shows the parity
and how
in the
good
league,
a defense
honestly.
that you can play. And for them, it just shows the defense that they've got. They've only allowed 4 runs in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Well, another great matchup for the week. No doubt, the game of the week. Sandlot Sluggers, backdoor sliders, 8-5 matchup. Kyle, what'd you think about the game of the week?
That was Friday night atmosphere right
Absolutely.
there. Oh my goodness.
It was like from the first
Tim
pitch.
announcing, playing walkout songs. I mean, I was on the bye and I had fun on Tuesday.
Oh yeah. On Tuesday
I had a
night.
good time, man. And it was a great game. It was a close game. You had 2 good pitchers. Cromer, one of the best pitchers in the league, and then also showed up and threw the best game I think I've ever seen him throw.
Absolutely.
And he almost gave the ball up halfway through to Bobbinger.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, stay in there. Next thing you know, he throws out the shutout.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. One of the things that also talked about a little while ago was he didn't really think that 2-foot mound difference was going to make a big difference in his game. But you saw week 1, he struggled with a lot of walks. And then when he got into trouble with runners on base, he started just trying to pump him in there, and he was getting Matt Thomas all over the place.
Yeah.
He was getting Matt Thomas all over the yard, man.
Don't get Matt Thomas.
Don't
get Redbeard.
Shout out Matt Thomas.
Don't get Redbeard.
So, but he, obviously made, especially coming into that game against that team, he made a huge adjustment. And played some bang-up defense, made some plays.
That was a big key in his thing. Like, if the mound being moved back 2 feet farther, you got 2 more feet to cover.
To cover in front of you.
I told him one of the things was, I said, man, if you quit running off the third base after you throw the ball, he was feeling it though, man.
They made him thought about
he
that.
was throwing his pitches, and he was in the zone.
I tell you what,
he made 2 good plays.
He did make some good plays. Play of the game though, Joe Hernandez.
Oh, we talked about that earlier. That was awesome.
right there. Nasty.
That was
Oppo Joe.
Nasty.
Oppo Joe.
And the crazy thing is,
better, though.
the first 2 innings, Josh is videotaping plays, and then when it happens, he's like,
The
my
GoPro
God.
died.
Really?
I went out to the truck and plugged. I said, all right, let's go. We got to plug it in. I've got 2 more innings. I walk back out, and as I walk out, I'm walking out to the gate, and I see the ball going there. I was like, "That's oh my God!"
And not only did he did that, he had 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, 3 home runs.
Joke.
And what makes it more impressive though to me is that when Austin was up there throwing his best pitches, Charlie, he handled Charlie really well.
Yeah.
But what really impressed me is the way he handled everybody else. The focus was on Charlie. If Charlie's going to hit more home runs and keep it going, but
You start concentrating on Charlie, you let Jordan Watson.
That's what I was going to get at.
Watch out. Jordan hit. He hit.
They have other guys that can hit the ball really well.
It's not. They're a hard team.
Jamie's been in the league for a while.
When Jamie's hot, he's one of the toughest outs to get. And we've had this same argument so many times when we've had to play them in the past. Is you stop Jordan, then you got to worry about everybody else. And you focus on one person, you got so many people you got to worry about. And it makes it so much harder. And with also being able to come out here and trying to stop or control Charlie to some degree, and then worry about Jordan Watson, worry about Jamie Walter, Cromer, and their girl can hit.
Their girl's toughest
she
out
can,
on the line.
she can stroke.
She murdered the ball.
There is some of the she is one of the she is better than she can hit a lot better than probably me.
So
she's impressive.
Can we talk about this? We talked about it with them a minute ago. Was that or was that not the most epic troll job when also put all the checks?
Yes, it was.
It was
instant,
incredible. I mean, literally, they shook hands and walked out, and he was already editing. And then sends it in, but I mean, it was the most. It was a beautiful,
that was an awesome
troll job,
graphic job too.
Yeah.
Charlie Spencer with the American flag.
Oh yeah,
Chalk.
I want a face also.
Yeah.
I want a face also.
You're gonna get your chance. I don't actually think you guys are gonna go undefeated this season. I think y'all are gonna get beat a couple games.
To be honest,
I think a couple games this year. And it's not going to be because you guys are going to play bad or anything like that. I just think people are stepping up to. They're playing to your level right now.
I mean,
I think so. We've had to step up.
We just rocked the boat up here.
We did.
I can see one. You gonna say a couple?
A couple, man.
That includes the playoffs.
May 8th.
I'm telling you,
next time in the game of the week, May 8th, I believe. Outsiders taking on Off in the Woods.
Oh,
that's not game. It's not game of the week. It's 7:15.
Cy Young winner or a
7:15.
World Series champion. No chance.
We got y'all here.
Week 8.
No, May 8th. May 8th.
Week 5.
Oh, you said May 8th.
May 8th.
Outsiders,
May 8th.
Off in the Woods.
I'm not going to lose to a World Series
Outsiders
champion.
and Off in the Woods.
I'm not going to lose to a World Series champion. I'm not going to let you know that.
Look.
Hey, don't wear a Dodgers hat.
I ain't never been
Don't wear a Dodgers hat.
See what happens.
I play second.
Wear a Dodgers hat at second, and I bet he puts the ball through you.
We're talking about teams. I think the biggest thing with our schedule, and I don't know who set this up, but we play 3 of the top. Every team that we play in the first 3 weeks of our season made the playoffs last year.
That's the scary. That's the
So
scary part about that.
We got Wiffleball, we already played Cucumbas, and we already played, Off in the Woods.
And it's
you
get into a hole, it's hard to dig out.
It is.
And with Allen predicting us to lose a couple games, you can understand that. I mean, but for real, everybody's getting better every year. We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose.
I'm telling you right
now.
Cops inner boiler right now.
He's
getting red over there.
Use that.
He might want to leave and go practice a little bit more. Just so he can go back and take a look at the ground balls.
He can say whatever he wants and not talk. I know him way too well.
I love it.
But I mean, dude, the Outsiders are getting better every week, and I really don't want to play when we played them. I kind of wanted to play them up front, get them to where they didn't get better.
Well, here's the deal. You want to beat the Outsiders, get them in a late game.
Get them in a late game.
They're going to have more fun than everybody out there.
That's my favorite thing about the Outsiders. I'm one of the older guys in the league, but they have some older guys on their team, but they have fun, man.
Look, no one has
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
We talked about it last week. I'm not sure any team in this league in 4 years has had more fun than that team had week 1.
Oh my God!
Oh, I agree.
You kidding me?
I got excited.
I thought they got 35 members on their team.
It was their
everybody.
They came unglued on that Kirk Gibson home run.
Oh man!
Yeah,
it was just pumping going down the line.
Oh, dude.
Our next matchup, talking about hot-hitting teams, Outfield Alcoholics in their season debut since they had a bye week in the opening week, 20-2 against the Brew Crew. And we had our own Chris Downey, 4 home runs, ties Charlie Spencer, tied for first place in the home run leaders. It's only week 2, but Downey came out. He was the home run leader last season, and he was trying to let everybody know this season.
The first thing he said to me whenever I walked in the pub before the game we were setting up, he's out there, and I walk in, he goes, "Hey man, what's going on?" And as we're walking out, I grabbed a beer, and as we're walking out, he goes, "Charlie Spencer, my ass." He literally said that. Really? Literally said that, and I was like,
Hey,
I
think I've never heard
you
him
know
say
where
that.
that rivalry starts?
Huh?
You know where that rivalry starts? They're both catchers at Theodore. Now,
Really? Okay.
Downey was a senior when Charlie was a freshman.
Oh, okay.
I coached both of them at Theodore.
And Charlie was 30 years older than that.
Dude, those
That's the beard. It's a beard.
Exactly. Never mind, I'm dropping it.
the home runs that Downey hit were freaking
He does not get cheated, man.
Dude,
He
I think there's
does
one
not
on the
get
front
cheated.
of the building that's his.
I mean, the thing is though with Chris Downey,
He's
he's
been
been
doing
doing
that
this.
for 4
He's
years.
been doing that
Every
since
year.
game
Get to
one,
the
since
top.
he's walked out.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
always around the top, and to be honest,
Every
that's what's
derby
impressive.
that we've done too, he's been right there.
That's so impressive because you see David Kramlich, he's won a couple,
Yeah.
but then he's also been down. David Kramlich hit a home run. Has he hit a home run yet? We only played 1 week, but he hit a home run. You got Downey coming out here still.
David
putting him on the
Kramlich put a jackhammer through his foot last season.
He did.
And he's still out here playing. It's unbelievable.
I mean, he did, but
I hate
it's still,
facing
The
Downey.
grit of that
Faced
guy.
Downey in the championship. He was the hardest out in that lineup.
100%.
And normally he's home run or bust, but when I faced him last season, he really has changed his game up. He'll hit him over here in right field.
Yeah.
He'll hit him on the roof out there in left.
And he'll hit them
He's a
missiles
good-
through your
he's
legs.
got a
back
He's a
big
there.
good dude. He's a good hitter. I love
It's
Downey.
It's almost tempted
hard.
to like, you get down 3-1, I'm like, I'm walking.
Yep.
But he's a
You're on
liability.
base.
He's a
You're on
liability.
base.
If I give up a 2-run homer, I'm good.
And you know, he picked up. You know, that's what a off-season move that was by
Nathan?
Nathan and
Jeez.
those guys grabbing Downey. Because look, let me tell you something. We talk about, you know, outsiders and no one has more fun than them. I don't think I've ever seen a wiffle ball stoke hit a human being like the Holy Spirit as the first time that Nathan Burrows stepped out here.
I'm telling you.
And he's
Hey,
only
threw a
getting better
wiffle ball
every
just
year.
went,
Nathan's
whoa.
getting better every year, and that's impressive.
He's getting
I mean,
hard to
that's
hit.
impressive. I mean,
Really hard to hit. So
what is he 1-0 right now? Well, they won. They had by the first week. They won game 2.
Yeah, they're in
20-2.
Gave him 2 runs. 2 runs.
Nathan's a good pitcher too.
Yeah.
He-
And
he
Shea
hits
hits.
it up all his arm
Shea,
angles.
yeah.
Those are
How
a
many
lot of
Shea
strikes.
Shea hit 2 bombs.
Shea hit 2 bombs. And
And
Shea
one of
hit
those
one
was-
that hit the building. Yeah.
I
Crushed
believe
it.
there's
It went
one
over
on the
the
front of
monster.
the building, right?
No, I don't know. I'm giving that to Downey, man. I think the one Downey hit the front of the building. But the one Shea hit, the one that hit the building was a line drive. It barely went over the top of that wall back there. Barely. It was.
Seed.
That's and the girl makes a huge difference on teams, and we've said that too. We've had a few different girls on our team. I mean, when Christy was having her kid and everything, we missed her for a couple seasons. We picked up Melissa, and it was almost like we didn't miss a beat, except for
I'm gonna tell you right now.
it was. Christy's like family. Melissa became family with us, and it's been that way. And,
I've seen-
and Melissa can hit, Christy can hit. They
We
both
talked
play
about it
defense.
last week with Charlie Bobinger.
She can
Look,
stroke too.
Charlie, you look at Charlie, and this is what you look at when she stands up there, and you're like, "What is? All right, let's just go ahead and get me over seed over your face."
Yeah.
She'll just crush the ball. Look, Melissa Ware. There's been some pitchers out here that have had bad dreams about.
She zones in when she's up there batting.
Melissa, beware.
Beware.
And that's also impressive.
Same thing
to
with
me.
Christy.
With Christy.
Yep.
What was
And
impressive
when she
to me,
grunts,
week one- Christy,
that's
week
how you know
one-
she's locked in.
Week
Like,
one-
sound like Serena Williams
Week
out
one,
there.
she hits a home run. She played in like 3 leagues. She's missed like 3 leagues, and she comes out week 1, and she kind of had a rough start at the beginning, and then all of a sudden she starts feeling her way in. She starts swinging the ball and play. And the next thing you know, she hits a home run.
Christy finally went home run off. Finally hit a home run off of me in
Well,
like 7 seasons.
Yeah, she's hated you every day.
And she's like, I just can't stand you.
She hated you forever. I mean, now she probably feels a lot better.
I
She
mean,
probably still hates you. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
I can't answer that question.
I felt kind of bad her not playing for 2 seasons, so I was like, I'm gonna throw one up there.
Oh, is that what that was? Is
Yeah,
that
a
what it was?
little gift.
I wouldn't tell her
Merry
that,
Christmas. It ain't happening no more.
I wouldn't tell her that though. The playoffs comes around, she might hit 4. You never know.
Well, not against me.
In the final matchup on Tuesday, we had the #1 ranked team currently, calm down over there. Calm down. Number 1 ranked team, Wiffle House All-Stars, ringing up 15-1 over Mobile Babies.
Look, I'll go ahead and say it. The only reason why they're undefeated right now is because it's Joe Sykes is getting married this weekend.
We all feel bad.
We all feel
kind
bad,
of charitable.
So it's charitable.
Hey, get psyched though.
It's
going
gonna be a good
down
weekend.
Saturday.
It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna party it up. We're ready
You're the
for
luckiest
it.
girl in the world.
Yeah. But I tell you what.
Yeah.
We got them next weekend or next week. Coming up this Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
April 24th. Oh, we gonna
Lucky
get that
Joe's
ass.
not gonna be there. Lucky Joe's not gonna be there.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm glad he ain't gonna be here. You know why? Because he always takes me yards. So guess what? Have fun on your honeymoon.
But that's another team that continues to get better every year.
Oh yeah.
And it's been the same team. All they do is they grow together. And Blake's a tough pitcher to hit. Blake
Yes, he is.
He is an underrated pitcher and a very underrated hitter.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
100%.
You don't think he's underrated hitter?
By far one of the top hitters.
But that's
you better
what
know that.
But nobody. That's what I'm
better know
saying.
that. If
You better
play their team,
you better
you
know
better
it.
get Blake
You
out.
better know it. But a lot of people are like,
Yep. And they picked up Ryan Cummins this season.
They catch you with their antics. They go out there and they have a good time, and then all of a sudden you don't know it, but you're
Joe
losing.
has a good time. Oh,
Yeah.
Joe has a good time. What? Mad Dog 2020? That's it. Joe would have had it.
The guy kept my play. Hey,
I had to get it in one time. That's
the guy single-handedly kept my wedding dancing.
Yeah, he
everybody
did.
dancing
He
at my
did.
wedding. So
They
I got to return the favor.
Every time they step on the field, you know it's
got
going to be
it
a good
down.
time, and if you're playing against them, good luck.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna bring you in on their good time, and next thing you know, they got you right where you want you.
I mean,
where
look-
they want you, and that's the tough part of playing
Well,
different teams.
but they lost Ryan Hall this season. He's not out there this
look,
season. That's a huge loss.
I mean,
But
that's
they
a
picked up-
huge.
But
That's a
picked up
huge
Ryan
loss
Cummins.
on the mound.
that's huge on the mound.
I think hit
That's
too.
why
He
Blake
can
is
ride.
All-time hits leader.
But Ryan's just so consistent. He doesn't strike out. He squares the ball up, and on defense, he doesn't miss. He's very, very consistent.
I think it's a bigger loss on the mound. I think not having that second pitcher
second
is just
guy.
huge
Yeah,
because
it is.
I mean in this league you're going to have off nights and you're going to have those nights. I mean, Zach and I gave up 16 runs to you guys, and I think last year I don't think we ever gave. I think the only time we gave up more than 10 runs was once in 10 weeks.
So that's
You know,
probably again.
but if you give, it was probably all again. Exactly. Throw it out there, off the woods. It's hard to beat off the woods. It's hard.
Can't get off the woods.
But the hard thing
Hunt
about it
yourself
is
down.
if you had those off weeks, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to get back from it.
Yeah,
it is. It's tough. Whereas, like for our team, if I'm having an off week or Zach's having an off week, we can switch. We have that momentum where you can kind of get your mind right and get back into it.
You lose once in this league, and it's tough to bounce back.
Oh,
and it's 100. It's tough because you lose one team, and you don't know who you play next. They could come out and have their best game, and we know it especially well because everybody wants us to lose so bad. I mean, I'm just being honest. We get the best of everybody. I think you pitch your best games.
I do too.
I'm
I play my best when I play against y'all.
Your
Or I try to.
best games. Sneed, I've watched you pitch 100 times, and I feel like every time I face you, you're at your best. And I don't know if it's mentally, you just get mentally prepared for us more than you do other teams. I don't know what you do. But I'm saying a lot of teams, we get their best because they want to beat us.
Well, I don't think it's like we want to beat you. I just get a joy. I just see how pissed you get when I strike you out.
I mean,
When
I
you
get
hear the
really
gong?
mad. I do.
They go.
I get mad. I mean, I can't help it.
Kind of picking up on his point though, like we haven't lost a whole lot of games out here in 8 seasons, but I can think of 2 games that we lost by more than 10 runs. So it's like, you catch somebody at the right time, or if you're off, you're gonna get popped. Anybody can get popped at any time.
That was a championship series when y'all came out here and dropped game
Both
1,
times.
right?
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
Wrong.
Yeah, it
Came
was.
back
I
and
couldn't
won
keep
it.
the ball off the roof.
Yeah, just got drummed that first game. We're like, what the hell is
And
happening?
it also shows that our chemistry. I mean, a lot of us grew up. We knew each other. We've known each other a long time. We all kind of grew up in the same area. Kind of played some kind of ball
Go
with
ahead
each
and
other.
plug it.
Kind of grew up playing ball.
Plug
but the thing is, hashtag Theodore. But the thing is, it's like when we lose or when something's not going our way.
Y'all's focus.
Cop is really
it's
big
crazy.
at this, and that's one of the things I give Cop's big about getting us back on the rails and getting us back to the right mentality and the right way to focus and the right way to go, and that's huge, man. He's always preaching, no who's pitching. When Zach came in to pitch, I was about to walk up the plate. I let off that inning. I didn't even realize Zach was moving up, and Cop said, "Oh, hey, watch it. Zach's coming in. change the way you go up, your approach to hit, and that's huge. Because an approach is what gets you. I mean, you go there with no approach, you're bound to.
It's a plan.
Yeah.
It's plan actions.
And it's huge when you have somebody like that. It's so mentally focused and keeps everybody else.
And that's good advice from all the captains.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan.
To keep your team settled and keep them in the game.
And nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, "Oh, I'm just going to go on vacation to Chicago or whatever."
Yeah.
They just you playing for it. You playing for who you're hitting, who you're pitching against. You're playing for your back. Even though I plan to hit a grand slam off the cop, I struck out twice.
I mean, but
Plan B.
Play it all you want. I'm playing against Steve, but I didn't plan for one to go 10 feet over my head and still let on the 10. You know what I mean? I can't plan for that. That strike got me in hand. You got me.
Let's talk a little bit about week 3 before we wrap up the show. I'm just going to do a little rundown of each matchups. Kicking things off at 6:30, we got Off in the Woods taking on Brew Crew. 7:15 matchup, Backdoor Sliders back in action, this time against Terminal Illness. 8 o'clock, primetime game of the week, Big League Crew.
Let's go.
Taking on Outfield Alcoholics.
I'm bombing on
Just murder Nathan. Go get him.
I got the Alcoholics taking their first loss second.
Thank you.
Battle the beards there.
It is.
8:45, we got Wiffle House All-Stars taking on Team Hose Monster.
Yeah, Sykes is getting his wedding present that night.
And ending the night off at 9:30, Sandlot Sluggers taking on Mobile Baybears.
Don't ruin his honeymoon too.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
All those matchups aside, guys,
open.
which one stands out to you the most? We have the game of the week, but is there another one that we need to keep an eye on for the standings?
Wiffle House, man.
Yeah, I think so. The Wiffle House
that's
All
two
Stars
top
and
teams
the
right there.
Team Hose Monster. I mean, what place are we in on that right now?
First and 9.
First and 9, but you're talking about a game and a half difference right there.
You're really talking about two great pitchers. They can go up there and they can easily dominate the game. You got to come out ready to play and ready to hit, and that's gonna be the thing. As far as the Hose Monsters, you got to come out, jump on Blake, get him flustered because they don't have Ryan Hall no more.
That's
so
the
they
thing.
have nowhere.
Yeah,
They have nobody else they can really go to. So you come out there, you hit the ball, you make them make a few plays. They make them, they don't. Then you go from there, and that's the way you got to take it. As far as you guys, you're hitting Blake.
We got to hit. We got to hit.
And Sneed's got to come out and have a great game because you got Blake that can hit. You got Ryan Thomas
is going to hit.
Matt Thomas is hot.
Ask awesome if Matt.
You got a bunch of.
Yeah.
Just ask.
I mean, you got great hitters. You got great pitchers in this game.
It's going to be a great game.
My first pitch to Matt Thomas might be a little on the beard. Cut that trim that thing a little bit.
Let him know his boss, man. You gotta let him know.
Beard.
You gotta let him know his boss. But I mean, the game of the week this week is awesome. Like I said, I'm picking Allen in the win. I think I would come after Nathan Burrows.
I'm picking that upset.
Are you?
Hell
yeah.
Look, I'm telling you, in that first game, y'all hit the ball well.
We scored, I think, 14 or 15 runs. We got beat by 1 run in the last
And
inning.
look, Terminal Illness is
not a bad team.
We ran out of time.
That guy,
Their
that
pitcher.
lefty is filthy.
He's for real.
He is filthy.
And another thing,
Trent went out a couple times last year.
So everybody's calling an upset.
I mean, but the thing
Does Downey know about that?
He does now.
Hey, that's the word of my Kevin Hart would say, you're going to learn.
The biggest thing I'm looking for in this series
You have been put on notice.
is you're going to know the first inning is who's going to come out on top to me because you're going to have to jump on Nathan Burrows. You let Nathan get his vibe going and let him get going.
Let it
If you let him get his rhythm and get in his pace, this is going to be a tough game to win.
You're talking about Luke Peavy had a little energy thrown over to first base. How about the energy that Nathan has whenever he pitches? I always feel like
when he gets in a groove and he's throwing,
tough to hit.
his follow through is
From down under, too.
It is.
his arms are going all over the place. He walks laps around that mound, and next thing you know, we call Awesome Big Sweat. We call him Big Sweat, brother. Oh yeah, Nathan. He'll come out just soaking wet. Every time he blinks, he splashes you with sweat. You know, that's how into it he is. You know?
So is his nickname the Blinker?
Blinky.
That's the name we're giving to him right here. You heard it first.
Yep.
I'll
That'll
put
be
Joe's the
trademark.
nickname of the year, but we might have one in the running.
I put Joe.
Joe's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe has been a phenomenal player since he started. This is nothing new to me or nothing new. I mean, I played college baseball with him. I've watched some incredible things in the mound, and I've watched him grow up and play. He's tough. He's going to be a tough out every time and he's going to make plays. that whole team's going to make plays.
Absolutely.
They're going to be a tough team to beat, and they're only going to get better, and that's the scary part about it.
The only thing I like about them is they're wearing Steeler colors.
I like the unis. They're
Are
getting hats.
they getting the? They are. That's right.
Pretty sick.
That's right. Look,
Are they getting the logo hats?
their unis are sick. I mean, that's what also.
As long as Alsop can keep it going on the mound like he did last week,
I'm telling you,
tough to beat.
If Alsop throws that way the rest of the season,
Except against
like that,
Everywhere.
it is going to be.
Well, hey,
tough.
before we make predictions for the rest of the season, let's get the rest of the crew up here. Be right back on the show with the full crew talking about a little predictions for week 3 and beyond.
Let's go! Let's go!
Welcome back into the show. We're talking about predictions, possibly for week 3 and beyond. We've heard a couple of predictions, mainly that Big League Crew is now favored in the game of the week, according to our expert panelists.
Cobb, give us a line.
Yep.
On Big League Crew.
Game of the week, Big League
Game of
Crew
the week.
taking on.
I'm gonna
Outfield
tell you,
outfield.
man. Y'all calling upset. I'm putting it -5.5.
Ooh, wow.
Downey, Spicer, Alcoholics, Burrows, too much beard.
Too much
Ooh,
beer.
Too much.
Hey, he goes,
I
hey,
like
look.
where I'm
You know what?
my money's at big day.
Here's the thing. He called -6.5 last night, I think, for
I did.
yeah. What'd you
Game
call
of the
him?
week.
What'd you
for,
call?
Alsop in them.
Awesome in them?
I
Yeah.
thought Crummer had that one.
Yeah.
I
No.
was wrong.
Well, and look. After that first week, you know.
Hey, we had your bets. Had you
Look,
against Scott.
make an adjustment, kid. Also comes in,
let's
makes
like-
the adjustment.
Cop, give us a rundown on all of them. Let's do that.
I'll get you
On all
here.
these games. Yeah, you're gonna do that all the way down. Let's go all the way down.
Well, I mean,
Let's
at
do
6:30, you got Off in the Woods versus Brew Crew.
You can't make a line on the wrong team.
that.
Off in the woods, Big League.
Big League. What was our big word
You can't
earlier?
make a line.
Backdoor sliders.
Backdoor sliders,
Again.
terminal illness.
You talking about my 4-syllable?
4 syllable.
Hey, hold on. We're in week 4.
Trepidatious.
That was it.
Now we're moving to Big League.
Nah.
What's up, guys?
All right, so at 7:15, you got Backdoor Sliders versus Terminal Illness.
That lefty's good.
I think it depends on who flies that
I think
night.
the
I'm telling you, I think that game's gonna be
Sliders
closer
gonna
than
have
you
a
think.
back. You know, they're gonna have a game. They're gonna bounce back. They just took a loss. On the game of the week, they took a loss. They're gonna bounce back. Charlie's gonna come back out.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
Left on left matchup.
Yeah, it's
Who was
left
that?
on left.
I'm not
They
saying
lost.
your team
Backdoor
name.
Sliders lost to Wiffleball All-Stars. Right? Or is that
I hope y'all play. I hope y'all
No,
play
in
the
week
first round of the playoffs.
Sluggers,
I'm talking about week 1. They have 1 loss too. They're 1-1.
You said -5.5 on our game. Wiffle House All Stars Team Hoseball. I wanna
Without
hear
Joe
this.
Sykes. Without Joe Sykes.
Without Joe Sykes.
Without
Well,
Joe Sykes.
no,
I
he's
like
here.
this.
He'll be here. I think he'll be here. I think they're just going on there like a beach trip for like 2 days and then going on honeymoon later on.
Okay. All right.
Even if he's here, it don't matter. Go ahead.
Joe or no Joe?
Oh!
Let's go.
Steve's getting psyched over here, baby. Steve's getting psyched.
33. No, he ain't getting psyched on Tuesday, I can tell you that much.
We'll find out Tuesday.
All right, Cop, let's hear what you got here.
Which one am I talking about?
Wiffle House All Stars versus Team Hose Monster.
That's my most anticipated matchup. I think that's going to be the closest game. I think it's going to be the best game. I got to put a close line on it. I'm going to say...
Little hesitation here. Little hesitation.
I'm going to put y'all as a dog because I think Blake Nelson's the difference.
I can't argue with you on
He's
that.
a beast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him, just based on Blake alone, I'm giving him a run and a half.
Ooh,
Running a half.
running ahead. You can't take that, man. You kidding me?
I respect it,
And
I was
last,
gonna say, dude,
but I don't like it.
last game is going to be the Sandlot Sluggers and the Mobile Bay Bears. I think the Sluggers are going to do that.
I'm just going to tell you right
Aren't the
now.
Bay Bears being bought out by Huntsville? or are we talking about something completely different here? Is this
That's
a
the
different
same
team?
group. Same group.
Same group?
Same
All right,
group.
I'm
cool.
going to go ahead and tell you right now, if Oppo Joe
Yeah, you made a
does
mistake.
not have the flu, that one could get,
Brooks has the bump. Tuesday.
I mean, let's see
Brooks
if
has the
Awesome
ball.
keeps it
Now,
going.
look, I said it last week.
Awesome's head's the size of a hot air balloon right now. Let's see if he keeps it going. That's the question.
How big is your
Because
head?
when he plays like hey, you can keep it swelling when you play off the woods.
Measure real quick.
I guarantee you
When you
his
play off
mouth
in the woods, it's going
is
to
the
burst.
size of all of our heads.
Can you put your fist in your mouth?
I'm a little low on oxygen out here right now.
I bet you DT can for sure.
I don't know if it'll get out there.
Looks like we got the same team.
Oh my
Same
Hey, he tried.
When he plays off
Is
the
he putting
woods,
the hat
a hot air
on?
balloon,
Hey, is he
his
putting the
head's
hat
gonna
on?
burst.
Is he putting the hat on for off-season trade?
Off-season trade.
We're comparing heads.
I saw. Well, I don't care. That's all off-season trade.
Brooks has the bump Tuesday.
I
gotta rest.
We said it last week. It was,
Oh my
strange.
God.
It was strange seeing a Brooks Bobbinger team without Brooks Bobbinger on the mound. And look, you're not going to get. Also had a great game. Brooks can throw it.
Yeah,
He can absolutely throw it.
He's one of the best at changing speeds.
Yeah. Absolutely, and he can field it too. You need that stuff up the mound.
Has Brooks pitched this year?
I don't know, not yet.
See, I'm curious to see how he does with the mound.
That's true.
Back.
I don't even know if he's warmed up.
Might be a good matchup to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame our loss on that because we were coming into that game thinking Brooks was about to come in. Throw it.
You got thrown off.
Oh my God! Up there and we're just,
I mean, Alsop's not that good. You were just so intimidated by Brooks. And, I mean, that's got to be it.
I agree.
I know it's a horrible downfall. You
Also, I do have to take this moment. I think we need to throw a little shade on someone.
Come on.
Right now. You know where I'm going with this.
No, but come on.
Okay. So, there's been some times here over the last couple of years where there's been a past player who's coming off of an injury.
Yeah.
He's thrown a little shade, on GetWiffIt and on Awesome. He likes to go after Awesome, pretty hard. There for a while, I seem to remember this guy saying, I think Wiffleball's dead.
Dead.
Wiffleball's dead.
He said Wiffleball's dead. If I'm going to throw the name out here, it rhymes with fake Blaine. Okay, Blake Lane. Yes. Okay, he was an expert at putting lines on Wiffleball games. He kind of lost the stoke there for a minute, and Wiffleball died. But let me tell you something, Blake. Doesn't look very dead to me, Big Daddy.
Not at all, baby.
Big sweat's out here throwing gems, kid. Where you at?
He said he's made it a long way since that day.
He's back, baby.
He's made it a long way since
Thompson gonna make a comeback in 19. I'm waiting for you. Let's go.
All right, next category.
Baby's got to get bigger.
Next category. We're tied right now in home run leaders. All right, we got Downey and Charlie Spencer. All right. Does someone take over that #1 lead this week? Does someone else enter into the mix, or will one of them rise to take sole possession of first place this week?
Let's see who we got.
When it's all said and done, even after my bye week, I'm still going to win the home run. Oh, I'm telling you right now.
I don't know. Matt Thomas has 3 right now.
I think DT just proved, even though his
talk
head
on
is
that? Can I talk on that?
Please talk on that.
Can I go back to week 1, how I said
when he got Matt Thomas.
I throw to my competition. You ain't my competition, so I gave you cookies and you got lucky and barely went over.
Joe Hernandez has 3.
Joey, look.
That's
got 3.
And 2
Oh,
of
it don't
them.
matter.
Oppo Joe coming in hot.
It's going to be hard to beat Joe. It's going to be hard. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat Downey. It's going to be hard to beat Charlie. Look,
I don't think he's missed a ball yet. Everything he's hit has been on the screws. Okay, so it's going to be probably a 4 or 5 dog race up there. And
Cramlett will be back.
And all of y'all are going to be right there. Because y'all just you don't miss the ball.
I say we have a new leader
Completely this week?
completely this week.
Someone's going to hit 5?
So who's our leader in the clubhouse?
I think it's going to be tough.
Who's
Charlie and Downey.
our women's leader in the clubhouse? So
It's got to be Shay. Shay's got 2.
Shay has 2.
And then Christy
has 1. I know.
Charlie hit 1?
I don't think she's.
I think Christy Cummings hit 1. That's right.
Christy
Christy Cummings hit a bomb.
Yeah, she's
Scarlett.
Maddie.
I'm telling you, she's hitting the ball hard.
Who'd Christy hit?
Yeah. Huh?
Who'd Christy Cummings hit one off?
No. What? We play them this week.
I thought you meant Cramlett.
Cummins hit one off of.
I feel like Christy Cummins may have taken Austin
Both
Yakko right
Cummins.
there.
But he does to
That's
his
right.
competition, right? I mean, he doesn't.
I mean, they came all over.
I mean, that's what Olsen said. He
It's
does
a
to his
long list,
competition.
also.
I'm
It
sorry.
is a long
I'm-
list.
But this
for
is
2 weeks.
that's what's exciting. You got a lot of people that are tied for fourth, tied to third.
I'm telling
I
you.
mean, it's
And
it's
they
only
can-
going to get bigger.
You can hit 2 home runs quick and get back in it. I'm going Matt T.
6 teams make the playoffs. Right now, top 6 teams.
Take it away from him.
Wiffle House All-Stars, Off in the Woods, Outfield Alcoholics, Cumbas, Sandlot Sluggers, and the Outsiders. Right there, top 6 teams right there. Now, we got a couple of teams right there at 1-1. Sluggers, Outsiders, Backdoor Sliders, Terminal Illness. When it's all said and done, all right, who are the top 6 teams in your mind?
I think you see the Hose Monsters get in there. I think with the pitching wise, they're good enough to get in there. As far as the Sliders, I think no doubt they'll be in there. I think they're going to jump right in. Those are the 2 that I'm looking outside that really have a chance of getting back in, and I think more than likely will get in.
Look, I'm going to tell you this, and we said it week 1. Until someone dethrones Off in the Woods, we're not going to talk. Look, you've earned it. You've earned it. Okay, you did it once.
You did it once, right? Out of how many times?
What's that ratio sitting at though right now?
What's out of how many?
Until someone dethrones Off in the Woods, they're going to demand the respect. Right now, it's a 5-dog race to get back in the playoffs. Off to Wednesday, off in
Hey,
the
hold on. That's our D team, dude. That's our farm.
That's the JV.
That's our farm.
Yeah, I got you.
When they get good enough, we pull them up.
Hey,
That's why they're still playing.
Somebody cut the mic from DT rambling again.
I joined in after everybody else is talking.
But yeah, I mean, you look one. There's really not.
Look at 1 through 9. I mean, even the teams that have the loss. I mean, it's still so early in the
Big
season.
League Crew 0-1, but we've all picked.
It's going to
I know
change
y'all
so
said it.
much.
Backdoor sliders, they're going to be 1 or 2.
Yeah, they're going to be up there.
Oh,
I tell you,
Cromer.
Cromer's a good
Cromer
pitcher,
can
but
throw.
they picked up Watson. Watson's a huge pickup, defensively and offensively. But I tell you, who you don't really know a whole lot about is Garrett Waters. He's a newcomer, first year. He's a good ball player.
Yeah.
He played college ball at Mobile and at Faulkner. He can play. He beat us in a wiffleball tournament at BC Rain. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Indeed.
He's good, man. Watch for him, and Sliders will be back.
We're all in agreement that this is probably the toughest season yet out here at
Oh,
Pop
100%.
Market.
No doubt about it.
Every game counts.
Missing some faces. There are some really good athletes.
Definitely missing some faces.
Corey Lane, Blanchett. I'd like to see Nichols back out. Taylor. Some really good athletes have come through the league, man, and it's still competitive with these teams we got. You know,
I mean,
bring it fast. Too.
scaling it back to one team. You know, we're gonna keep kicking this horse.
One team.
One night.
Or excuse me, one night.
Give me a beer, bro.
So one team with the ball. No, but so. Yeah, right. Yes. Here we go. Let's get a social in here right now, man. Hey, get with it, guys.
There we go, fellas.
Happy freaking Friday.
DT's talking, I didn't have one.
So, you know, taking it back to one night, you know, that took a lot of, you know, thought and that process. You know, do we really want to do that? You know,
We stressed over that.
we did. We stressed a lot. I think it was easily the best decision.
Yeah.
Because we have packed so much grit and talent and competition into one night that, like you said earlier, that 9:30 that's late on a Tuesday, and it was slammed.
I think you basically moving it to one night, you basically put in a championship Friday night into every Tuesday.
Yeah,
Right.
and you know
that's the fun part about it is everybody's up
and
here.
so the playoffs this season, you know, we've gone to a format to where, you know, our championship series between the last 2 teams has always been on a Friday night. It's always been under the lights, and it's, I mean, y'all have all seen it. There's been 500 people out here fighting for elbow room to get out here and watch. It's a full-on production. It's incredible. This year for the playoffs, those top 6 teams that make the playoffs are going to play on a Friday night. You know, so instead of those two teams having that atmosphere in the past, you know, those top 6 that get in, they're going to have that Friday night atmosphere, that crazy atmosphere of the competition. And so it's, when you talk about the game of the week right now, we're going to have 5 of them that night. You know what I mean? Full on. It's going to be raucous.
Oh,
There's nothing that impresses you more is when you're about to play and you look out there and you see 500.
That's it.
I mean, it's a whole different game.
At a bar. When they're announcing your team and you're running out of the bars and people are slapping you.
Oh, dude, I get excited just listening to them.
You can't even be drunk enough to prepare yourself for that.
That Friday night
And then you
atmosphere,
can't be that drunk.
I'm so pumped. There's going to be 6 teams that get to
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The playoffs are going to be awesome.
It's going to be cool. I mean, we're only in the second week. Look at this. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, we
Well, it took a podcast that was 3 people.
Hell, it's nighttime.
Hey, I got a question.
Can y'all see us?
Are we putting?
Doesn't matter.
Are we putting bleachers on the rooftop?
One day.
Well, we're all excited about the season. We want to thank you for joining us this week. Catch us this upcoming Tuesday for more action here at Pub Park with the Get With It Wiffleball League.
One more social, guys.
Congratulations,
Cheers.
Joe Sykes.
Joe Sykes.
Joe Sykes.
buddy.
Hey, let's talk about the all-star in that relationship.
Oh,
It's
Haley by far.
Well, I don't know why
It's
we're
Haley.
boosting up Joe right now, but Haley.
Cheers to Haley.
You hit the jackpot, Joe. Cheers, guys.
See you next week.